All right, and here we are back once again with the Small Terrible and a Dragonborn party. Hi, guys.
Hi.
We are missing Torgal Blackfurnace right now. Hopefully he gets to jump in a little bit. But we'll start with our normal recap. You guys have been in Tomor Falls originally trying to find a halfling by the name of Elan, favor of a favor. We kind of talked about that in the last game. And you wound up in the Delacrane estate. And while exploring it, you ran across all kinds of fun things, like a finger bone in a glass vial, and weird paintings and strange books, and even a tawdry romance book or two that Hazel has picked up. Not that the other party members know that. And sneaky thing, you. And then eventually wound your way after Ulrin managed to find a hidden chute down to the caves of this estate, or below the estate, no longer danger zone, exactly. And so you think. You don't know. You don't know. And figured out what exactly you think was causing all of the issues in Tomor Falls, the strange murders, the weather, the crops failing, was Faviana Delacrane, the daughter of the family. But something was weird with her. She seemed to be flitting between images. She would change hair color and stature, and suddenly she was a different person. And she was trying to, it seemed, raise Tybalt Delacrane back from the dead. You managed to defeat her and find your halfling, and then when you left the manor house, you were met by a not-so-happy mob of farmers with literal torches and pitchforks, led by Vidania, who is the town elder, and she is demanding answers from all of you. We will fast forward just a little bit. She has asked you, in the sternest way possible, to come back to her house to explain yourselves, but also to get out of the slowly dying cold and snow. And as you guys are marching back, you have a few minutes to yourselves to kind of collect your thoughts or do what it is you need to do the walk back. It's about a 5-minute walk back to her home. And Tyrax is with you. He's starting to look a little concerned about this turn of events. And you guys can do what you need to do from here. Vidania has basically dispersed the rest of the group that was with her, except for Vera, her sister, and Agatha, one of the town guards that you encountered when you first came to Tomor Falls. So is there anything you guys need to get figured out before she marches you essentially into her home? She's not saying anything.
I'll disappear my sword, because that might make people feel a little bit better.
Okay. Alicia, Tyrax is going to, out of one of his many pouches that he wears in his robes, he hands over a couple of things to you. He says, I know we were rushed, but found these on the necromancer's body too. They might, I don't know what they are. He hands you a pouch that definitely has some kind of currency in it. And he also hands you, it's a weird scrap of, it looks like animal skin. And it has a rough tattoo on it. It says, I don't know what it is, but it was on her body. I assume it was something she was using. It definitely looks like it's probably magical. I'm not good at that kind of thing, but you are. You're probably best at maybe just like tuck it away for right now until we figure out what's going on.
I can check it later, but not right now, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely don't think that's a good idea. You guys are all a little worse for wear. Everybody took some hits over the course of that battle, and necrotic damage is a bitch. So you're hurting. You could definitely feel it on your way back. You do notice, Alicia, that the skin he hands you, whatever that hide is, looks to be roughly the same type of material that bound book you picked up off of the Delacrane body is wrapped in. You guys are nearing the... let your imagination do as it is. You guys are nearing the town elder house at this point.
Yeah, I just want to like whisper to everyone, I know those people don't look very friendly right now, but I'm sure they're just scared, so whatever happens, I really would like not to hurt them, so if push comes to shove, maybe we could just try to get away without having to attack any one of them.
I agreed, and tell them all we saw the truth and nothing but the truth.
I mean,
Yes, I agree.
I feel like some details are better kept to ourselves. Hazel's gifts and
we don't have to tell
Torkel's,
them.
you know,
Well,
some
It's
things
not
are
about,
private.
it's not about us, but about
No,
what
but that's
happened at the mansion.
Dawn.
Okay.
Tyrax is actually going to lean down kind of to all of you and go, listen, I think explaining why you were here, sticking to that course, you were looking for somebody, it was a favor for someone who's going to help you out, just kind of stick to that without getting into too much details, probably. I mean, these are small town folk, like, you know, let's not raise the alarm too much.
Yeah.
I agree.
There was literally an... Okay, fine.
I know, but it's like, she may be able to... There are big old holes in this whole Delacrane deal here. She might know enough. She's been the town elder since the Delacranes left the town. She's going to know, very likely, like, what's going on with his house. Or at the very least, maybe what opened the door to whatever was going on in there. So let's just tell her what we need to and let her fill in, let her offer information. That's probably the best way to go. So as you guys...
We do look kind of suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, and he looks at you, Naraxis, and then looks at himself. He's like, hey, man, that's... we definitely look suspicious.
No offense.
And like draws himself up to his full height, and it's even worse because now he's like 6'4" full plate, just like looming over things. Like, I fit in perfectly. How dare you? It's massive.
Just like, well, from one tailed brother to another. Yeah, sure, you do you, man. So as you guys near her house and you're back into town, there are definitely lights blazing in every corner of this town. The sun is coming up. You were in that mansion for quite some time, and especially because you took a rest there. And this home it's well cared for. It's a wood and brick 2-story home. And as you enter, Vidania stops you at the door and says, just give me a second with my sister. Some of the hardness to her face has fallen off, but it looks to be more worry at this point. This is someone who, and you can tell just by looking at her, she's older, she's probably been around for quite some time in this town, and she definitely is carrying a lot of weight at this point. So we will move you guys to her home. You do overhear... Oh. Yeah, let me move that fire sound way down. Calm down there. There we go. Not a bonfire. Slow down. You guys, yeah.
Sorry, just wanted to ask, has the snowstorm subsided outside?
It is slowly tapering off. It doesn't feel warmer necessarily, but the wind has died down, which is helping. And you are seeing, those first bursts of daylight coming through. It's certainly more cheery than when you entered. You overhear little snippets of conversation, especially those of you with a pretty high passive perception. So Ulrin and Naraxis and Torkel, you guys hear Vidania tell Vera, you need to go back. Just let me handle this. Just go back to the tavern. Take care of your daughter. Just let me deal with this. And they start kind of bickering back and forth. Vera eventually huffs away and comes over to all of you, and she looks at Vidania very pointedly and says loudly, just tell her what's going on, tell her what you told me, and we'll get this figured out. She's all hot air, mostly. and like turns around and walks off in a huff. Vidania just sighs. Come on, let's go. And she lets you guys enter. You smell, as soon as you get in here, you smell wood smoke, stew, which smells amazing because you haven't eaten in a while. Herbs under all of that, drying herbs. There's a large fireplace that dominates the open first floor. There are bookshelves and chairs everywhere. And there is a tall blonde man standing at the stove nearby. He's got a wooden spoon in hand and he's humming as he's stirring. You do notice that he looks human, but as he turns and sees all of you, you do also see his ears are just on this side of pointy, and he looks a lot like Vidania. So she will lead you in, let you sit, take your cloaks, and then turn around to all of you as you get settled and say, all right, I'll listen. I want to know what's going on.
Well, the reason we're here is we were sent here by someone in Syngorn to try and find a merchant that had escaped, which led us here. Look to someone else to see if they want to continue.
Well, and then we looked around and we heard that the merchant, who's also a halfling like me, was staying at the inn, the name of the inn, which I forgot. And we heard that he went into the old mansion, and so we went there, and then weird things started happening. Pretty weird things.
Like the Rex is like putting his hand up to the thermal. Okay, let's take a breath.
Okay.
We're trading a favor for a favor. We were asked to find someone. We came here to find that person on the road. This is Vera's sister, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll explain what happened with finding the gnome corpse with the incubi on the road. So we followed that here, and then Yoha mentioned that you'd been having similar problems in the town, deliberately including people who live here, bringing up Vera and bringing up Yoha and doing everything he can to assuage the situation.
Okay. I want you to go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay. Yeah, 19.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. She has not sat this entire time. She finally, you guys are kind of in a semicircle of chairs, and she comes over and takes the one furthest away from all of you, furthest away from the fireplace. It's almost like she's at the head of a non-existent table, basically. And you do see this other man, reasonable to assume probably a relative, is standing behind her, and he has his hand on her shoulder, and she looks at him and she goes, just, Samuel, maybe this isn't a good conversation for you. And he goes, Mom, I'm an adult. I think I can handle it. I'm supposed to... Not right now, Samuel. Just fine. But if you're going to stay... All right. So you know we've been having problems. That's as much has been explained. Agatha told me she let that cat out of the bag. We had 2 of our own murdered. Shade Watch was here. Things started happening. And then that halfling showed up. I believe you. What I don't understand is how that house, which we rightfully should have torn down years ago when the fire caught it, how does that come into play? Because something is wrong there.
When we got there, we tried to search for the halfling, and we found clues that we weren't alone. Something attacked us, and in the end we found a woman, a necromancer. And we defeated her.
What did this woman look like?
Well, see, she had more than one face. One of them was the girl, the crane girl. One of them, we don't know.
That place is... I never believed that it was haunted. It's the Delacrane estate has always been a source of issues for the town. It almost became a joke at one point. It was kind of a running thing. I mean, the Delacranes built it. They were in charge of this town for a couple of generations. Jackson, the original founder, essentially, of the town, and then his son, Alton. Alton and his family were the last ones to live there, and Alton always believed that the place was haunted. From the time he was a little boy, he would claim that, books would fly off the shelves, but nothing ever hurt. It was more just spooky types of things, and the activity would bubble, and then it would die down again, and all of these things would happen. And I worked for them for many years, and I liked the Delacranes quite a bit. And as Alton grew up and then married and had kids, that place only got strange when the youngest boy, Simon, was around 5 or 6 years old. Alton never thought the spirits were malevolent, and then one day Simon started getting into accidents. He would fall down the stairs, and he would say that he didn't trip, he was pushed. And then he fell down the cellar chute one time and broke his arm in 2 places, and that was the last straw. And Alton started contacting. He even had me write some letters to some clerics that I knew in Iman and Vasselheim from my traveling days. And he wanted, spirit healers and clerics, and he kind of looks at you, Oren, and, to come and try to cleanse the house if they had angered something, to basically get it out and just handle it, and nothing seemed to work. And then the fire happened. And the only thing that I can tell you is that Alton that day, before the fire started, came to me and said he'd found someone who was helping. And when I asked him who, because it wasn't one of my contacts, he said it was a woman who showed up on their doorstep in black robes. And she was lighting herbs and saying prayers and doing all of these things, and the activity stopped. And I thought, well, good. Maybe he can move on from whatever this nonsense is, and Simon won't be hurt anymore. And then the fires happened, and the house burned, and Tybalt died, and they left. And I think it doesn't make any sense what you're telling me, but
the daughter of the Delacranes tried to bring back her dead brother, and we think she got in a bit over her head.
That just doesn't... We haven't seen Fabiana Delacrane in 20 years.
Well, she was barely using Fabiana's face. I think she was possessed or something by this other entity. That word.
I want all of you to roll a religion check.
$19.
Okay.
18.
3.
Okay. Okay.
6.
6. Got it. Okay. Oren and Alicia, coming from the religious aspect of it and the magical end of it, kind of perfect. It definitely looked like some kind of possession, and given what you know about what happened down there, what you witnessed... Actually, let me roll for T-Rex real quick. If I can find my dice. There we go. No, that's a 2. That's a big fat no. He has no idea. things are starting to fit together. And she is actually going to, Vidania is going to sit with you guys and kind of talk this out. She is starting to suspect that the woman who showed up many, many years ago and the woman you saw were probably the same person. It makes sense. Fabiana was always the strange child. She was obsessed with magic and things and knowledge that her father tried to dissuade her from, getting into some of the more darker things. And she adored Tybalt. That was her hero. That was the person she absolutely wanted to follow in his footsteps and go with him on adventures and journeys, but they were just too far apart in age. And it makes sense. If she was trying to bring him back and got into that dark stuff that her father tried to convince her not to so many years ago, she could have opened herself up to influence. It makes a lot of sense. Did you find anything else when you were down there? Is there any indication of... This is not the kind of thing we expect to happen here.
We found her journal while we were down there.
Fabiana's
journal.
Did it say anything?
Well, not really. The last entry was before the fire.
All right.
So it doesn't really tell much about what happened in the years. But we found necromantic magic.
And a lot of corpses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to get that place cleaned out properly.
I was gonna say set it on fire again.
We have he won't. I wonder if he will. She kind of puts her head in her hand. She's had a winter hat on this whole time. She rips it off and starts, hunched over. She looks exhausted at this point, and says, the Pa, who we call him Pa, that's what he goes by. He oversees the graveyard for us. Used to be a cleric of Pelor. He left that behind a long time ago. Doesn't really talk about it much anymore, but I wonder if he or someone maybe he knows could come and help us out with that. It needs to go. We can't handle... Tomor Falls cannot handle another set of incidents like this. We almost lost half of the villagers anyways, and it was barely me convincing them to stay, because I'd take care of it, but not exactly more than just a bunch of farmers, So... I don't know how to thank you. It's been a trying time, as you might expect.
You don't need to thank us.
Well,
No.
we do, and I'm sorry that I showed up with what probably looked like a mob. Her son is kind of patting her shoulder. Mom, it's okay. It's not. I overreacted. And he laughs. Yeah, you do that a lot. She's like, yeah, my fatal flaw, right?
Well,
We understand.
we're 5 strangers. Yeah. 5 strangers in a town that has suffered a lot. Wouldn't be weird if you overreacted.
Well, maybe take that to heart the next time you go into a small town, well armed, and, when weird things happen, maybe stop in and see whoever's in charge, because they might not be farmers like us. They might actually have weapons. We don't really do the whole, fighting thing. I tell you what, I have spare rooms. I know Vera said she already offered spaces for you. You're welcome to stay, recover. You're welcome to eat with us. And you turn around and you see the bit, it was kind of blocked by Samuel when you guys came in, but now you see this basically cauldron of stew that's been cooking. It's I have more than enough. I wish I had more answers for you. I'm glad that you. It sounds like a novel, doesn't it? One of those crazy like 2 copper novels where a bunch of strange heroes come into a small town and rescue them from their own stupidity and superstition. But it's much appreciated. Trust me on that one. You will always be welcome in Tomor Falls. Always.
You're welcome.
Okay, so you guys can rest. You can eat. Vidania keeps talking to you, tells you a little bit more about the town and some of the people in it. She recommends before you leave to go and see Vera, or at least say goodbye to her. Vera's going to be a little heartbroken if you don't stop by. She thinks you guys hang the moon basically at this point. And she will also give you guys 200 gold from the town coffers. And she apologizes. She said, that's all we really have. But I hope it helps.
Oh.
Did our sound cut out?
Yeah, your sound cut out for a second there.
Oh, sorry. Okay. No, she'll give you 200 gold, and she says it's really all we can afford, but it's. I hope it's more than enough, or enough to thank you guys for doing this.
Is the village going to be okay? Like, I have a feeling your crops might have some problems due to the weather.
And actually, as you guys look outside now that it's daylight out, the snow has subsided, and it's starting to melt.
Huh.
That's good.
And
2 birds with 1 stone, I suppose.
Says, I think we'll be all right. The soil here, we're pretty good with figuring out how to work around inhospitable weather. We've had far worse. Remember the blizzard about 6 years ago? That was fun, and it came 3 months early. We'll be okay. Trust me.
That's very impressive.
All right. So she'll give you that. Yes.
Oh, as she hands me the gold, I'll put 100 of it in the bag of holding, and then give her back 100 of it, and then 50 of my personal gold. And I'll tell her that we don't need to be paid for this.
I agree.
That is.
Yohara and Nagata could use proper arms and armor if you could stake them on that wall.
Yeah, we could probably use some proper guards in general. I think Agatha would be up for it. Yohar's, well, you saw him. He's not the most. Is spineless too hard of a word? Yeah, that's what I'm going with. He's not really cut out for that. Agatha's a little more hard-headed, but yeah, I can get Resh. I can get Morg's son, the blacksmith. I can get him to start working on some weapons. He's got some arms training. That would probably go a long way. Brave and generous. How did we luck out? Like I said, sounds like a 2 copper novel, but I'll take it. So you guys can rest. I'm assuming probably a long rest, unless you're burning hit die, because you can't get those hit points back.
I need a long rest.
Okay.
I have no spells left.
Yeah, long rest would probably be good, because
Okay.
I'm also exhausted, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You are. Yep.
But I also just want to say a quick thank you to Ulrin for what he did. I think that was very nice of him.
Oh, well, that's
Before we go to bed.
no problem. Felt it wasn't right to keep all of the gold, at least some of it for us to buy potions and stuff and heal up.
Yeah, these people really need it.
More than we do, certainly.
Yeah.
Vidania will tell you that if I can get to my note, that Lucilla, who now runs the herbalist shop, could probably have something for you as well. And if are you guys going back to the Magpie's Nest, the tavern, to rest?
Yeah, we can. Don't we have rooms there? I think we have
Yes.
still rooms
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, Vera freely offered you the use of her rooms since there really wasn't anybody else, and you guys brought stuff back from Seeger. So you guys are big damn heroes, man.
You want us to change your name, don't you?
I didn't even think about that. You've upgraded.
But if we're the saviors of Tomor, we've still got the S and T. We just need whatever the last letter is needs to still spell.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. Oh man. So you guys can head back there. Vera will gladly give you all the food and drinks you want. Wants to hear about, as much as you're willing to tell her, about what happened. And you guys can rest. Alicia, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw as you settle in your rooms.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Is that the amulet's in the bag of holding? If that's for the amulet.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, just making sure.
The amulet is in the bag of holding it. Is it?
Yeah, you gave it to me and told me to put it in the
Okay.
bag.
Yeah, T-Rex
Yeah,
really
yeah.
was worried about that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
7.
Okay. As you close your eyes, you feel this compulsion come over you. And it desperately wants you to open that book you found on Fabiana Delacrane's body. Like, you have to open it.
I didn't put that in the bag of holding, did I?
Nope.
No.
The
Nope.
book? No, you didn't give me the
Nope.
book.
It's on your
No.
person.
That
Yeah.
weird fleshy tome? No, you didn't give that to me. Gross.
Yeah.
It's weirdly warm in your hands, and you start to open it up, and now I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm not sure bonus on that. Yeah.
Oh shit, 26!
Jesus.
Holy crap!
I have a bonus of 8.
The DC was 20. So
Oh.
you open it and you kind of reel back and you look down and just text flies across the pages in multiple languages, but it lands in common. And it spells out, I'll give you the card for this later, it spells out a ritual to gather souls. One from just people or humanoids in general. How to kill them and then process their bodies in a way that will let you gather their soul from them and capture it before it goes to the Raven Queen. Doesn't say the Raven Queen though. What you would understand to the Raven Queen. Basically wherever it goes to wherever it goes.
Okay, so it
And-
didn't say Raven Queen. I was afraid it's going to say the Witch Queen or something.
And then in the second section, it details very specifically how to gather souls from people who are, how to recognize and gather souls from people who are fate touched.
Oh.
Ew.
Oh.
And it involves flaying them.
Oh no.
And you remember there were 2 flayed bodies.
Yeah.
One was on the table in the library, and one was Alon's. It also details how much more stronger those souls are. And in the back of it is that same symbol that you found in the back of Fabiana Delacrane's journal. And it is in the handout section.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the book slams shut on its own and falls to the floor out of your hands.
I take off my cloak, wrap the book in the cloak, and run to the room Olrun is in.
Okay.
I'm not touching the thing again.
Okay.
And I knock Raphael down his door.
Okay, I'll open the door.
Can you just
Yeah.
leave the bag of holding, please?
Okay. And
Don't touch it.
I'll take it and I guess put it over in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Sleepily, because I'm exhausted.
Elon was face touched.
How do you know that?
Quick, the long story short, the book has rituals for collecting souls. Souls that are fate touched need to be flayed. He was flayed. Or from its skin.
Aww.
I'm shaking while I'm telling this. Like, you can see, like, hands and... Not good.
I'll put the book away and I'll just kind of, like, put a hand on her shoulder and just, like, comfort her for a second and just calm her down and tell her that it's alright. We dismissed whatever problems were down there. We can handle whatever's coming next. We just have to stay true and believe that we're capable of it and trust in each other.
Thank you. I'm sorry I disturbed you.
No, it's fine. Whenever you need me, just let me know.
You just hear her calm down. Start heading back towards the room. And try and sleep again.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Alicia, when you return, that weird scrap of animal or some kind of hide is out on the bed.
Fucking creepy.
Jesus Christ!
I go back to knock at Oliver's door. Can I sleep with you? I'm afraid. Just sleep on the floor or something.
Sure. No.
I wanna be in
Take
my
the
room.
bed. I'll squat on the chair. It's fine.
Thank you. I can take the chair. I'm smaller than you.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
No explanation of this. Just okay.
That played out in my head so good. Like, it really... Oh my gosh. Okay. So, that happened. All right. Yeah. Alicia, it's actually a pretty comfortable chair, especially for a gnome. It's like a big wingback chair, so you get, like, a couple pillows and, big blanket, and you're good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, when you look over and she looks kind of, like, panicked, but...
Yeah, before I go to bed, can I cast, let's see. What would do better? Would it be, like, to, like, calm her down? Would it be, like, bless? Or, like... I don't know.
I mean...
Because, I'm gonna sleep anyway and get
Sure.
slots back, so I don't really... This is just like a...
For flavor, I would say bless, probably.
Bless.
With
Or
a little-
lesser restoration I
Yeah.
can use now, because I have it now. Yay.
There you go. Yeah, you could do that. You
So I
say,
could do
do that. Say a little all-hammer prayer. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll do that before, like, as she's kind of, like, sitting in the chair and just calm her down again and tell her that it's all right. And then I'll go wearily lay down.
Okay. All right. The other two, anything you're doing before you rest?
I think I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
I'm really tired.
Yeah, Alicia was like beaten up, so I'll leave her to sleep rather than trying to get her to read the book. Well, I was going to tap on Orin's door at some point and ask if he wanted to visit the blacksmith tomorrow.
Yes. Sorry. Yes. I would love to. Could I? I would like to sleep first, if that would be okay.
Yeah. Why are you? All right. You and Alicia are
What?
adults. Goodbye. Goodbye.
It's not. It's not like.
It's like
What's
like
going on, guys?
the closest he can get to Red in the
Jesus.
face. Just
And the
walks away.
fan fiction starts.
This
All
is like
right.
an episode of Friends.
Alicia's door is probably not. It's probably open, so if you look inside, you'll see the leather on the bed, probably.
Or it's crawled away.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all the
That
way.
was what I was imagining it to.
Yeah, but I just assume that she's studying it. Like, I wouldn't think there's anything weird.
Yeah, it's
No,
just
you
a
wouldn't.
piece of leather. What?
Yeah.
It's on the bed. I mean, it's when you walk by, you clearly can see like her room looks a little disheveled, like she left in a hurry, and then there's this scrap that you didn't really see before because you didn't really see T-Rex kind of hand it off to her. Like, it's just there.
I think I have to look at it. I feel like I have to look at it.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and make an Arcana check for me?
Oh dear.
Lol.
Here we go.
Hey,
Well,
that's
it
pretty
was.
good. 15. Okay. You do recognize this. You've seen this kind of weird runic tattoo before on barbarians.
Oh, okay.
It's like a brand. Like some of them will brand themselves with this thing, and you know it gives them like extra durability.
Okay. I'm just going to leave that there and walk away.
I love how everyone is terrified of this piece of leather.
At least just like first you have like a very exhausting day, and then a book, and the same letter is moved. It's like nope.
And you thought the creepy was done.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of creepy, I am going to read in my book a bit before I go to sleep. Because I need to learn how to properly interact with civilized people, people in big towns. I've been living in a forest for the past 10 years. It's time that I learn. My charisma is -1. It's time to learn that I learn how to properly talk to people. And that's what I'm going to do. Start studying on. Then I'm going to sleep.
It's the perfect study material, too. It really is. A tawdry romance book. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. And what is the name of that book?
It's called The Carver Who Stole My Heart, and it's about an dwarven carver and an elf woman. They're like on the cover.
And I will tell you, just like out of game, I wrote a piece of this book for her.
Oh,
And I have
God.
it open here.
Just
Oh,
a tiny
God.
bit. Just a tiny bit. But it was really funny, and I was snickering the entire time. So we have our own in-game, like, fiction now. Anyways, okay. It made me laugh. So, alright. So you guys all go to sleep. Belly's full. You've had plenty of stew. You know, Vera, there were some townspeople in the tavern too as you entered, and they were all like clapping you on the back and saying thank you over and over again. And their tired, very drawn faces seem to be alight once more with hope. And you guys really did something very special here. You can tell immediately how thankful everyone is. So, Ulrin, as you rest, it is not the most restful thing you've ever had in your life, because of just all the weird things that happened, and it's very bothersome to you. And then that moment in the bottom of the house where you were visited or touched or something there happened. And after a while, as you're sleeping, that white porcelain face shows up again in your mind. And it just sits there for a second. And then you hear the voice of what you assume to be the Allhammer, that same voice you have heard now a few times over the course of your life, come to you and say, "You are on the right path. But I cannot help you."
What do you mean you can't help me? I thought you helped me down there.
I was a conduit for her. And you know, Ulrin, you know about the divine gate that keeps the gods from this plane. Like, you know all of that. You know the history of the calamity and everything that has happened. So you understand that piece of it. He's not being very forthcoming.
So, are you working with the Raven Queen now, or is this something new? Some new problem?
It's a very old problem. But trust, you are on the right path. When things get at their darkest, when you lose hope, trust you are going in the right direction. And that face and the voice fade.
Okay.
All right. 8 hours have passed. It is now getting to be dusk outside. And Tyrax is waiting for all of you on the main tavern floor. He's basically like head first in the biggest bowl of stew you've ever seen. He's just chowing down.
Morning.
He's not so much morning, but yeah, sure, for you.
Oh yeah, what time is it?
Nearing dusk.
Oh, good evening.
You know. Sit. We need to discuss next steps here, and I need to not be with you when you go back to Syngorn.
I was gonna say before Alicia heads downstairs,
Yeah.
she would probably ask Ulrin if he could come with her to her room,
Yeah,
and then she would
that's
cast
what
Mage
I was
Hand.
gonna do.
to take the letter of peace into the bag.
Okay.
Okay,
Not
yeah,
touching his mage hand. I remember I had that.
that works.
Okay,
So, yeah.
so...
And then head downstairs.
Okay. So yeah, Tyrax is down there. He'll get you whatever food or drink you want. Vera happily will bring it over. He says, all right, so you have... Please tell... I mean, we wrapped his body in something, right? Before you put it in that bag.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because otherwise, ew. I think we did. I would like to think we had our minds about us that much.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Okay. Yeah. I probably should go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, since, not really supposed to be here anyways. And he looks around and he leans in and he goes, so what I'm going to say is basically you need to get that body back to Mirabella ASAP. And I will meet you. I'll meet you in the Warrens. You're probably looking at, if you go through the night, probably getting there around daybreak. And then we can start off first thing. I need to go make my excuses to Yurik because he and he pulls out of one of his pockets a piece of parchment, and you see it's got some scribbled handwriting on it and the symbol of the spires of Yurik at the bottom of it. And he's like, I'm being summoned, so I don't want to raise suspicion.
Are you going to turn into a raven again?
Yeah, I thought that was probably a good idea. It's the fastest way, for me anyways.
It is pretty cool.
I happen to think so.
Done?
You guys
Good
good?
to see that those two are making friends.
Yeah.
Slowly.
I want to ask Alicia about the piece of the brand, because I assume she was studying it in the night. So what did you work out about that barbarian brand tattoo thing on the
What?
on the weird flat, the thing on your bed?
Long story short, the book that I found on the necromancer's body
Uh-huh.
was magic, had rituals in it. The letter is letter is the same as that tattoo thing. And when I was giving the book to Olrin, the letter had moved onto my bed. Which is why I didn't sleep in my bed. Yes.
Right. Giving the book. Okay.
Don't really know what it is yet.
Is that an innuendo?
No, Hazel, no. It's like desperately waving,
God,
like, no.
I learned about those.
What? Where?
Oh, it is book I found in the mansion. But don't worry, it's not about necromancy. At least I don't think so.
I look at the book, and then had a huge face plant. Like,
And then
out of all the books you could have picked up.
it's really good. Oh, Naraxis, I have a question for you because you're good at talking to people. How do you make promises with your lips?
Oh no.
I did not quite understand that part. He was asking her if she's making promises with her hands. I also didn't get that either. And then she said she yanks him down, all smiles and bright blue eyes.
Okay.
I prefer making them with my lips, though. What does that? How do you use your lips? Did she mean like talking or?
I mean, I get promises with your hands is thieves' can't. That's the other one. I'm not sure about the other one, to be honest.
Oh, I guess the book is really advanced.
I pat Hazel on the back.
Alicia knows more about books than I do.
I'll give you.
Do you know what it means?
I'll give you an easier book when we get to the bookstore next time. Okay?
Oh, I see. I should learn the beginner stuff first, and then
Yes.
maybe then I will understand what the book means. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alicia.
She's just losing it. Like after a day of like really, really tough stuff, this is just tractor.
The book is really interesting. It teaches me a lot about the relationships between elves and dwarves in Syngorn. It might come in handy.
Yeah. I just shake my head and like I'm not gonna say anything.
We should probably finish our breakfast and make a move if we're gonna get the horses back to Syngorn.
Yeah, horses. Syngorn.
Yep.
Shouldn't we head to the herbalist person and
the blacksmith.
And the blacksmith. Yeah, we should probably go. Hazel, eat up your food. Stop talking. Finish your breakfast. We got places to be.
Okay. I wharfed down my
over the top of her head, giving the let's not talk about the hand motion. Like, no, let's just leave this.
Me?
Ixnay on the promises egg. Let's just.
One day I'll find out, and then I'll tell you, Norexus. I promise.
Yep. He's probably not much older than you are. Like.
I know. Do you ask her in the game how old she is?
No.
It's rude to ask that.
Yeah, that's not a thing that you're supposed to do.
We learned that from our books that we read when we were little.
Yeah, like you can work out that I'm young because my scales aren't very dark, and Ulrin and Torkel is impossible to tell because they have beards. So it's like.
and gnomes are so.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. Thank you for breaking the DM. Oh, my God. There's, like, tears. Oh, that was everything I wanted and so much more. Oh, Hazel, I love you so much. Oh, my God. Okay. Anyways, T-Rex is sitting there the entire time with the biggest grin on his face. He's just, like, enjoying every minute of this. He's like, oh, this is, oh, you are all so precious. I forget how young you all are.
Oh.
Anyways. Or am I assuming?
I'm not that young.
Anyways, I'm older than you. Trust me on that one.
Oh.
I can believe that.
Oh, anyways. Okay, so, hey, yeah, go do your things in town. Make them fast, though, because I'm sure Mirabella's probably wondering where you're at right now. But at the same time, and he looks pensive for a minute. He's like, at the same time, if you don't come back, she's just gonna figure, so yeah. All right, I'm off. Don't get killed, and I'll meet you back in the Warrens. And he walks out the door, and just as you see the door slam, you see a bird, a big raven, take off.
I'm beginning to wonder how much time he spends on his own 2 legs.
I agree. I wonder. But then again, how cool would it be to fly, though?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I mean,
That's you.
like, I lived on a floating city. I can't, like... There's just a lot of worry you're going to fall, if I'm honest.
Okay, fun killer.
Aww.
The DM will remind Alicia that you were also given a pouch of stuff. Tyrax gave you a pouch. Sounded like coins.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have time to check it yesterday, but I remembered what it was.
It is full of currency from all over Exandria.
Oh.
Iman, Marquette, Wildmount, Vasselheim. Roughly totals 550 gold pieces.
Oh.
Give or take conversion,
I give it to Ulrin. Here's something more for the party fund.
There are also 20 platinum pieces in there.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
All right. So, do I just write 550 gold, or do you want me to put assorted currency?
You can do whatever you want, just as long as you know roughly what it values to.
Okay.
So, wait, 550 and the platinum, or 550 including the platinum?
No, and the platinum.
Oh,
Yeah.
You said 20 platinum?
Yeah.
good gods above.
Trust me, you're gonna need it.
Yeah, we won't need money for a while.
But we're probably going to.
I mean, I do need to buy more adamantine.
When Ulrin puts the money in the bag of holding, does he now see for some reason that there's more gold in there than, like, he actually from our Bard battle? And he's like, what?
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
It just magically disappeared in the bag.
I don't think I can, see what's all in there. I think it's as we pull it out, it's oh, God, we still have gold.
No, it'd be when you put your hand in the bag and think gold coins and it's just pouring.
It's just oh, God. It just
Slot
keeps
machine.
coming out.
Yeah.
Like when you go to run your card and you're like, oh, yeah, I still have some money left. And it's
Right.
oh, okay. I have a lot of money left.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Vera will come over to you guys and wish you well. She will also let you know your horses have been well taken care of for by the stable boy, and will give you some rations for the road. That's like warm bread and bottles of beer and that kind of thing.
Woo!
Yeah. I was very excited.
Ulrin's just yes!
Road beer, yes.
There you go. Yeah. Drinking on horses. Yay. It's
No.
blazing south.
Don't drink and ride.
Yeah, do not.
Ride
No,
sober or get pulled over.
No one needs a DUI. That's not.
Oh, God.
You know how fast you were going.
Driving under the influence of magic is
Oh, my gosh. Oh, okay. So where are you guys headed to?
Before we leave the tavern, I want to go up to Vera and ask her or how she's doing and everything.
She stops wiping out a bowl and looks at you and gives you a little smile. I'm about as well as can be expected. It's a relief knowing that, hopefully the troubles in the town are over. My personal little tragedy aside, knowing that hopefully we can get back up on our feet and everyone doesn't have to be afraid anymore is a huge relief. And you guys are, you're the ones responsible for that. I know Vidania she seems stern and a little gruff, but she is thankful. And You are always welcome here. Your rooms will always be free. Anytime you need to come back here, please just stop in anytime.
I appreciate that. And if you ever need us, the amulet that I gave you has my mark on it, so if you ever need us, just find us.
I'll do that. We won't always be here. My daughter's getting to the point where she's itching to go see the world, and I've thought about maybe selling the place or picking up and leaving for a bit and leaving it in the care of Samuel, because he works here sometimes with me. So, yeah, I'll find you out in the world, I'm sure. But thank you.
No problem. Just if you do move, just don't forget that sometimes family is the best thing that we have and the most sacred thing that we have. So be sure and hold that as tight as you can.
I will take those words to heart, my good dwarven cleric friend.
Be pleased.
I
walk away.
So badly
Sorry,
want to say beep
I had
beep. Oh man. All right, so where are we headed?
Herbalist and or the blacksmith?
Yeah, I guess herbalist first, probably.
Okay.
Because if
Probably.
we buy anything metal, we don't want to carry it around for all day.
Yeah.
All right.
It's true.
So...
I can carry something.
I cannot.
That's fine. I'll carry Alicia, and then Alicia will carry something, and everything will be fine.
The herbalist shop is a straight shot. You actually walked by it on your way to the Delacrane mansion.
Is this bottle of soul things that I have, does that still have souls in it, or did I dispel them in the cave?
You dispelled that.
Okay, so it's just an empty bottle.
It's just an empty, very beautiful crystal bottle.
Okay, I wasn't sure. And then do we still see like the ghosts floating around town that they were talking about before, or?
Weren't they in these shops that we're about to go to?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
they
Never mind.
were, according to Vera and Yohar, kind of, when he told you this, the ghosts of Oda, the herbalist, and Morg, the blacksmith, were found hovering over their bodies not long after they were killed. So you can check when you get there.
Okay.
The herbalist shop, and I've moved you guys to that image, is kind of up the road a little bit, and you do see the snow has officially melted off as the sun sets. And as you approach, it definitely looks and smells like an herbalist hut. There is a steady stream of smoke coming out of the chimney, and there is a young human woman outside the house with an armful of wood. And she sees you all approach and waves at you and says, I'll leave the door open. Come on in.
We head inside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you guys track inside. She has moved over to the fireplace and is stoking the fire and feeding it more wood. She turns around. There's various like stains on her apron. Looks like smears of things that she's been working with. There are bottles and herbs and the fantasy equivalent of Bunsen burners all over this house. It just smells like, you ever walk into one of those like handmade soap places? That's what it smells like. It just constant.
God.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very heavy
goodness.
with lavender and rosemary and all kinds of things going on all at once. It's a bit much. She
Hazel, are
doesn't
you
seem
okay?
to notice it.
I'm okay, and she's holding her nose close.
If you want to stay outside while we do the shopping, Hazel, it's perfectly fine if you want to.
Yeah, I'll go outside.
Okay.
I'll wait outside with Hazel.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine. I'll totally loom into the tiny.
You guys got this.
Yeah. I mean, it's a decently tall ceiling, especially because there is a human here. But you do know that Oda was a gnome woman, so the juxtaposition's kind of funny. Some of this furniture is much smaller, and some of it is normal sized.
Perfect.
Yeah. and as you guys come in, she's like, I know, I'm sorry, it's so strong. It's really, you get used to it, but it takes a little while. So I heard about what you guys did, and it's all over town. Well, it's not that big of a town, but thank you, because I'm Lucilla. I guess I run this place now. She reminds you a little bit of Leora. She looks a little young, a little nervous, but you can tell she seems to know what she's doing. And she's moving bottles around and mixing things almost absent-mindedly as she's talking to you.
Yeah. I think we're here to find more. Like, what do you sell here? We're just...
Lots of, it's mostly stuff like salves and those kinds of things when the farmers hurt themselves, or I brew up some potions for, when we used to have travelers. Hopefully we still have travelers now coming through since the bad stuff's taken care of. But I can do potions. I don't do poisons, though. I don't deal in that, so I hope you're not looking for that.
No, I think we have enough poison. She says and laughs a bit. We. Do you have any healing potions then? I think might have in need of those.
Oh, yeah, hold on just a second. And she puts down the couple of bottles that she was mixing back and forth, and she goes off into a back room, and she starts rummaging around. You hear bottles kind of clinking and clanking together, and she comes out with a rack of exactly what you're looking for. They look like healing potions. And she says, so I just brewed these up. I would let them sit for another maybe half a day before they settle, but because they're so new and they're not completely finished, I'll cut you a good deal on them.
That sounds excellent. I just want to check your ghost problem. That's gone too, right?
And this is the first time where you see her face drop, and she looks behind her out a window, and when you look back, you follow her gaze. It's into a garden. Well, what would be a garden if it was, growing season. And she says, she was there. I found her, and then a little while later, she was there again, but her spirit. And she's not been back since. I mean, we've put her to rest in the graveyard, but
that's fine. I just didn't want to leave the job half done.
No, I appreciate that. She raised me, so I'm glad that she's, whatever you did, hopefully, let her go on to peace. That's all I wanted. So anyways, and she picks the rack back up, and she says, so there are 6 of them, and I'll give them to you, so half price for 6 of them, 250 gold for the rack.
That's not good, you know this?
I just shrug and look at Alicia like I mean, usually Ulrin does the money. I don't know.
Yeah. Ulrin!
I'll come back in. Yeah.
How much is it again? 250?
250 for 6, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that
250 for 6 healing potions? Is that good, Ulrin?
Is that the right number?
How many healing potions?
6. 6.
Yeah? I don't know. I don't really deal in healing potions.
Give us 250
Yeah,
and we'll
just-
leave you out of your.
Alright, here you go.
Now go take a breath.
Go on and take the breath.
And I leave. And then, as soon as I get outside, I'm just like,
Hey, Ulrich! You
yeah,
look a bit green there.
I just smell so bad.
You tell me.
She
Yeah.
looks kind of at the two of you strangely. He must have really bad allergies.
Yes.
I think it gets stuck in the beard. I think that's the...
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That makes sense.
Gonna have to wash this like 3 times.
Yeah, just count the money out onto the counter. Just keep making small talk.
Okay, she'll give you like a little box to put the healing potions in so they don't rattle around. She says, "Thank you for that. That helps me a lot. With no traders coming through, basically everything had dried up, and the farmers, I don't hardly charge them, like a pittance. I usually just trade for food. This really helps me. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, and she goes over to where, and there's just this, you notice now, there is this almost jewel-colored wall of potions, different bottles and shapes and sizes. Some of them look like old wine and beer bottles that she's been brewing in. Like, she's just using whatever she can get her hands on. And she pulls out a couple more. She said, Oda made these, and maybe you could put them to use. I mean, now granted, I can't give them away, but maybe they'll help. She has one in her left hand and one in her right hand. One of them is a kind of a glowing green potion, and the other one is a cloudy copper elixir. Says,
I'm green. I like the green one.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I do like a Arcana check to see if I can figure out what they are, or can I just ask her what they are?
yeah, she will gladly tell you what they are. She
What
says,
are they?
So the green one is poison resistance. We'd had some cave spiders about 4 or 5 months ago, and she made these up because they're poisonous, and we didn't want the farmers to get poisoned and die, so she'd made these up. So this is helpful. And then this one is a potion of invisibility.
That can be useful.
Yeah, I don't need the green one.
Yeah, I didn't. I shouldn't need a green one, I hope. But the invisibility could be useful.
Oh yeah, so
How much for it?
well, that's the problem. I don't really know. Oda used to kind of make the deals around here. I tell you what, why don't you offer me what you think is okay, and we'll go from there.
Sure. I as a player don't know, so
Same.
do I just roll persuasion to haggle with her? Is this
Yeah,
the like?
yeah. Why don't you make a starting offer, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Sure.
Best I can do is $5.
$1.
I know a guy. He knows potions. Let me just call him real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, can I do like a Arcana check to see if how much?
Yeah, I mean, well, it'd be
Arcana or
more like
intelligence?
just a straight intelligence check.
Intelligence works too.
Yeah, okay.
You think, then I'll haggle.
No, it
That's the
doesn't work.
Oh no, a 5. No, it does not work.
No, it's a 1.
I
Natural
mean,
1.
oh, natural 1. Oh, snaps.
Natural 1.
Oh, snaps.
I
Yeah,
don't
no.
know.
It sounds
So-
cool.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
What? So a healing potion is, if it was 250 for 6, then
She cut it in half.
that's true.
And you've paid different amounts for healing potions depending on the vendor.
That's also true.
I will teach you guys to haggle at some point. Training wheels. All right.
Which would make them 100 gold apiece. So yeah, if we got half price on healing potions, we'll say half price on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
50?
That low? Is that high? I don't.
Make persuasion check.
I don't know.
Yeah, I say I'll do the persuading.
All right.
Ooh, that's better. That's 20. That's
Okay.
not natural.
She's like, I mean, and she kind of rattles it, and you see the little copper color swirl around and then settle back down again. She's like, I mean, I admit this is probably not her best work because she was kind of rushed with this one. I'm not really sure what she was doing with this one, but yeah, okay, and hands it to you.
Yeah. Elysia, I'll stay here so we're not stealing it, but do you want to go and get the money from Ulrich rather than making him... Yes.
I can take my personal fund and just give her 50. Right?
Fair. Sure, I'll
50?
just hand you the potion.
Okay. So that gets
I just
traded
hand
over.
her 50 from my own
Okay.
personal fund.
She,
And
let's see here.
just put the potion with my other potion of resistance.
Okay.
I have someone.
She says, I really just have, like bombs and stuff. It's more for when the farmers get scraped up. We kind of depleted our supply when all this weird stuff happened and everyone was freaking out. So, I have herbs and stuff, though, if you need herbs.
Here. And I'll just, put a single platinum piece down on the counter. And I'm keep a couple of those Healy drafts on hand. If we pass through again, we might need those.
Oh, you mean in layaway, like in reserve?
What? I mean, just so that you have the money to buy the ingredients again. I don't want you to end up stuck with,
Oh. And she kind of realization dawns on her face. She's like, that's a lot of money.
I don't know.
Are you sure?
My charisma is high, my intelligence low. So
she
money
slowly slides it off the table with one finger and puts it in a pocket, and she goes, I tell you what, you ever need anything, healing potions are always half off at the healing hut, I guess. Sure.
I mean, you'll recognize this if we come back, it's fine.
You're kind of hard to miss, no offense.
That's true, and he's stands up to his full height, bangs his head on something.
Like a pot that's hanging down, yeah. She's like, careful, ouch. Are you alright? Do you need a healing balm? Are you okay?
No, I'll be fine. I get hit a lot. Not
That's
professionally. You know what I mean?
Okay, sure. Hey, I would recommend, though, if you're done here, not that I'm trying to push you out or anything, but that you go see Resh over at the blacksmith's. He's the blacksmith's son. Well, Morg was the first one who was killed. I know he wants to say thank you, too. So, it's just up the road.
Yeah, we were heading there anyway, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
those can be our next
access.
stop.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, I worry about your friends outside. Tell them I'm sorry. I know it's really strong.
I think they're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll live.
Okay.
Believe me, we've been through much.
Do you think
much,
he needs
much worse.
soap for his beard? I make a lot of soap.
Actually,
know
that
what?
might be
Yes.
that might be a nice gift. Yeah, let's do something nice for Ulrich.
I'm
He's had a
assuming
stressful couple of days.
the unscented kind, probably.
What did you
Yes,
say?
but unless you have beer scented. that'd
Yeah, I
be
was going to say bear something.
I don't know. Sorry. That's not a bad idea, though. I bet that would go over really well.
It really isn't.
It's not a bad idea.
Then yeah, the plain one, please.
Yeah. She goes over to where there's just big cakes of soap and cuts off a big hunk and wraps it up for you. No charge. Just I feel bad. I mean, I know it's really stinky in here, but so yeah. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna go cut some more wood, but thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Take care, little one.
Oh, sorry. I was just wanting to say I wanted to have a little chat with Ulrin while the potion
Yes.
buying was happening.
Yes, I was gonna flip to you guys.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
So yes, now while that's going on outside,
I just said to Ulrin that I heard how he was talking to Vera about like family always having to stick together and such. And I tell him I think that was very nice of him to say, and it's true. So for sometimes there's just a situation where that's not possible, sadly. And then she like snaps immediately back to like being cheerful and is like, your parents must be really proud of you, Ulrin, because you're out here doing all of this good stuff for people. I bet they're really happy for you.
Yeah, haven't really talked to anyone from Kraghammer for a while, but I suppose they
Wow.
probably are. But I mean, family doesn't just mean immediate family. I mean, I think that we're a family, so
Oh, I guess that's true in a way. we kind of do look out for each other, don't we?
yeah, we do.
Yeah. Some people in our group remind me a lot of my old family that I used to have at some point. Like I had two twin brothers, and one of them really liked fighting and playing with his sword like Naraxis, and the other one really liked books like Alicia, so
Oh, that's nice. Luckily, none of us remind me of my brothers because they're not the nicest people.
oh. Yeah. Sometimes it's not easy having siblings, but you know. You're a family, so
Yeah,
you look out for each other.
that's true. That's what family does, and that's what we do.
Yeah. That's good. But sometimes it forces you to make difficult choices.
Yes, it does. Sometimes you don't even get a choice in it.
That's very true. But you were really impressive down there, Ulrin. Like that was amazing.
So are you. Honestly, I don't even remember what all happened after a moment. I kind of blacked out, but
You helped all of those poor people whose souls were trapped down there. That's really great. I can't do anything like that.
I'm sure you have something special that you can do that we'll see one of these days.
Maybe, but all I can do is very, very dangerous, and all I can do is try to keep it in check as best I can. But the
Well-
world really needs people like you, Ulrin, to make it a bit of a better place.
And the world needs people like you as well.
I guess that's true. That's what my old mentor used to tell me.
As you guys are talking, a human man, kind of toe-headed, hair all tousled, he's wearing overalls and carrying he's got a bag slung over his shoulder. He comes by and he says, "Hey, the adventurers, right? The ones who figured out what the hell was going on in town here, right? Yeah. Okay, hey, Conrad. Hi. My name's Conrad. I run the General Goods place just up the road from here. It's just down the circle from Vidania's house. Hey, you get a minute on your way out of town before you go grab your horses. Do me a favor, stop by. I got something you might want to see."
Oh, okay.
It's something that the Elon guy that I heard you, I guess, found. He traded to me. It's kind of interesting. You might want to see it.
Oh.
Anyways,
Probably.
yeah. I'll be there. I closed up shop just to go grab some tomatoes and stuff. But yeah, I'll be there. Just come see me. And he goes off down the road, kind of whistling.
Thank you, mister.
You're welcome. So Naraxis and Alicia, you guys come out. Everyone's back together again.
Hey guys.
Hey, what did you
Hey.
Sorry, Hazel, you cut out of it.
Hmm?
You cut out of it for me.
Oh, I can't. Oh, sorry. I just asked what you bought.
Oh yeah, we bought 6 healing potions, a potion of invisibility, and here. And I tossed the soap at Ulrin.
Ah! Oh. Thank you.
For your beard.
Yeah, we
Oh.
thought it'd be a nice gift. A weird couple of days.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Get that damn smell out of my beard.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what we thought.
You hear from
Not
inside
every-
the house. Sorry about that.
It's fine. I'm not used to all this grass and pollen and. Ugh.
Well, let's get you in the forge. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Over to the smiths.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay, so off to the forge, and again, you know the layout of the town by now. You head over there. It immediately, Ulrin and Torkel too, it smells like a forge. You recognize that scent instantly, and it feels like home.
Oh, home sweet home.
Let me move you guys over there. As you guys approach, there we go. And as you guys approach, there is a younger half-orc man at the forge, and he is using bellows. And he turns around and sees all of you and kind of nods in your direction and goes back to what he's doing. Removes the bellows, turns around, picks up a hammer, starts working on something, and he yells at you over the sound of the hammering. Come on in! Come on!
I'm just in. I'm inspecting all of his equipment. I'm just like watching his technique. I'm making sure everything's right. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
He's not the best you've ever seen, but he's better than an apprentice. He's definitely got some skill. And from your trained eye with a little more experience, he could be a pretty damn good blacksmith. He clearly learned from someone who knew what he was doing.
Yeah. I'll just crouch in, just look at the dwarves expectantly, I don't know.
This half-orc, Neuraxis could give you a run for your money. He's about a half a head taller than you.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's a big guy, and he has those bulging, blacksmith arms. He's just, the dude is freaking like a tank. He looks like he could knock down a wall all by himself. He's a big guy.
Hello, mister.
I need to make a new friend.
He looks at all of you. Get on in here. Come on. Hammers again. Heroes of the day, huh?
I suppose.
Well, I'm sure you've heard all the accolades and the thank yous and all of that from around town. Listen. You did a good thing. We need a little bit more of that in the world. Hammer, hammer, hammer.
So, the Vera and the alchemist, the little one suggested we come see you. I'm just looking at all. He is your kind. Talk to him, not your species. Use Smith words. Fix the thing. I don't know.
Smith persuasion roll.
Well, yeah. Again, high charisma, good at talking to people, but I don't know what I'm talking about, so there's a problem there.
So, what can I do you for?
Is there anything specific that we're looking for, or because you wanted to come to the blacksmith? I mean, I wanted to too, but just because it's
Ideally, I need to trade some of this mithril and coin and whatever to get enough adamantine to make a suit for a 6'6" dragonborn, which is probably a decent amount.
A significant amount.
Yeah. I'm not a small person. I think last week you said 4 or 5 bars, and I have 2 or 3 of mithril.
Two mithril ingots.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll need a bit. You look around, there are all kinds of swords and hatchets and daggers along one wall that look to be finished. They're of varying qualities. Some of them are very plain, what you would use to probably, as far as the daggers go, like used to cut rope and that kind of thing, and especially and then the hatchets. Some of the swords look to be a little bit nicer. Ulrin... make a forge check. No, make
I roll for forge.
make a perception check, actually.
I mean, you have smith's tools or whatever, don't you? That's not.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
what? Proficiency with smith tools.
Yeah.
15.
Okay. 15. Yeah, that'll do it. You do notice a couple of the weapons look very finely made, and you suspect those might be the best pieces in the shop. There is a dagger and a longsword there.
Can I inspect them?
Do you want to ask Resh?
Yeah, I'll ask them
Yeah.
if they're somewhere. Yeah.
He stops hammering. Yeah, I mean, those have been... My dad made those. Yeah, hold on just a second. He pulls them both down and hands them out to you, blades pointed down. They're good pieces, so go ahead and make an investigation check.
8.
I mean, given what you know, you didn't have to roll particularly high for this. The dagger is definitely a +1 dagger. The sword doesn't look like the same kind of steel you see in the other. Like there's something about this sword that's different than any other piece in this shop, but you're not sure what.
Okay. And I'll turn to Neuraxis and just be like hold the sword and be like, huh? Yeah, you want it? I don't want it. I use hammers. Huh?
But like a longsword is so small. I don't,
It's like a toothpick.
like you've literally never seen him use a weapon that's smaller than you in his entire time. Like, I could.
I mean,
Just looking at it.
you're gonna hold on a second. Let me roll something here.
But like
Okay.
there's no world in which he doesn't see magic items, regardless.
I mean, I do have one other thing, but it's not out here.
But it's what?
It's not out here in the shop.
Oh,
He
Would
looks
you-
at you appraisingly. Dragonborn, come here for a second.
Sure.
Let me see. Let me see your weapon. Let me see your weapon.
Oh,
Oh God, no,
He
no,
doesn't. That's the
no.
thing. I don't have anything on. Sure. And he just holds his hand out, fist pointed down, and you see the pommel and the handle appear, and then the blade lower so that it's point down. So it's not pointed at anyone or aggressive. It just slowly seeps into existence.
Right. That was not what I was expecting. Okay. Tell you what. Yeah, I got something you might be able to use, but you're gonna have to convince me you can use it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He points out in the yard past the open door, and you see a couple of dummies.
Oh.
One shot. You get one shot at each of them. If you can take one of those down in one shot, I'll make you a
What?
deal on something.
Sure. Why not? Sure. Okay. It's just again the shrug. All right, fine.
He's
Well,
standing in the doorway, arms crossed, kind of watching you.
Yeah.
Well, go on.
Meant to ask, what did Agatha have when we came into town? Did she have a sword?
She had a short sword.
Note to self: I might get her a nice short sword.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll walk up to one of the dummies,
Okay.
heft the sword. I'm guessing they're not particularly well armored.
It's a dummy. It's a training dummy.
cool. Then we're going in with the big boy. We're gonna go great sword, great weapon fighting, great weapon master, active the blade.
Jesus.
Oh boy.
All of the
Poor
things.
dummy.
You'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dummy. Its AC is like 7. It's not. Yeah, that 11 will work. That'll work. Yeah, you hack into the dummy. You shear off the arm, the left arm, and the left leg. Oh yeah, 15 damage, not an issue. And it's just it kind of flops off to the side.
Yeah, because it should be. Whoops, that's not right. Let's try that again. So it's actually 23. No, 22. No, because I got 2 1s and it's gone up by 7. So yeah, 22.
22. Oh yeah, more than enough. So the dummy just like butter. You just part that thing.
Cool.
Resh looks at you and he goes, "All right, again." There's another dummy there.
Ooh. Another one.
Yeah, there's 2 dummies out in the now 1. Go for it.
You know what? I might do a thing. I'm gonna disappear the sword and close my hands as if I was holding a staff and make a maul appear. Just a massive 2-handed like hammer, basically.
Okay.
Back to the blade. I can change its shape to any.
That's amazing.
And then yeah, I'll take a 16.
Yeah.
And then 14.
Okay.
I didn't great weapon master that one. I just
whacked it. Yeah, it's whack a dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dummy, like the head pops off and flies off into the field behind. And you've beaten the straw out of the upper half of it. I mean, it just looks horrible. He goes,
like
all right.
The head of the hammer is like Alicia's torso. It's like massive 2-handed.
It's a wallop mallet, yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Horrific.
He says, all right. Yeah, that'll do. Get in here, big fella. Which is funny, because he's bigger than you are.
Yeah. I'm just like grinning, like just from ear to ear in the dumbest, like, yay.
As you pass by him, Noraxis, you get a good look at this guy for really the first time. The shadows of the forge had kind of obscured him a little bit. He's seen some fights somewhere, whether it's bar brawls or you're not sure what. He's got a scar through, kind of rakishly almost, through his left eyebrow. There's another one on the side of his neck. It's kind of jagged. And you see a couple on like the palms of his hands, and you're not sure, what's from the forge and what's from other things he might have gotten himself into.
Huh.
But there seems to be a little bit of a story there with this guy. And he says, all right, so you don't actually use so basically what I have is all right.
Well, no. Now, here's the thing. In theory, I can make anything appear. I can snap my fingers and have a big sword or have a big hammer. And they're great, but they're as they are. I can choose a weapon, find something greater than they are, more magnificent, and bind it and do that same thing. It saves me carrying it around.
Well, then maybe this will and maybe this won't interest you. He disappears. Like, hold on a second. He comes back with a very long something wrapped in a piece of dark purple velvet. And he sets it down on the table kind of between you guys. And he says, so this was the one thing that my dad was holding on to. He'd used it. He fought in some battles and stuff. He'd seen some times. Settled down here a while back, and swore after my mom died that he'd never pick up a blade again unless he was to make it for someone else.
A noble choice.
Yeah, he was a good guy. And he slowly unwraps it. It's a reverent motion. And you see in front of you a gleaming two-handed battle axe.
Ooh.
There is a set of rubies in the pommel. And the minute he unwraps it, it begins to shed light.
Is it?
Pretty.
It's supposed to do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's enchanted to do that. You can turn it off, but he fought in some dark places that, he went to the Underdark, he did some stuff, so.
Eesh, that's nasty business.
Yeah, he didn't tell me about it either, and the story died with him, so. I assume this has seen some pretty good fights. I can't give it to you, obviously, but I'd be willing to sell it to you. It's a memory of my dad that I've kept what I've wanted to keep. He would want this in the hands of somebody who would treat it well.
That's May I like motions to like lift it?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's just like feeling the weight and giving it, like a cursory swing. Huh.
This is the nicest weapon you've ever held in your hands. It has the proper balance. Its edge is so sharp. You could cut anything with this. Almost anything with this. And you remember, Elrin had said something about that real pretty warhammer he picked up in the crypts. How light it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is an adamantine two-handed battle axe.
Oh.
I gotta get my money's worth out of it, you understand, but...
Of course. This is art as much as it's anything else.
So I'll do gold and trade, I'll do... If it's something you think I can use in forging, all the better. But, if I were to just sell this to somebody, my asking price would be 3,000 gold. But I'm willing to work with you on that one if it goes into the hands of somebody who can save some lives.
Yeah, I just look at Ulrin, like, what do we have in the bag?
Well,
Like, I will roll persuasion and haggle and, like you say, work with him on price, but...
He actually kind of, makes a shooing motion towards you guys. I tell you what, give me the axe back, you guys go talk. Come back when you think you figured out something, and... Or if you can't, I understand, that's fine. But just, go. And he kind of points you out towards where the dummies are. Just go talk. It's all right.
I thank you. I give it, considering the scars on him and what he said about his dad, I will the proper salute before I leave.
He gives you a nod. Goes back over to the forge, picks up his hammer.
And then, I'll step outside. Just did you see that?
It looked really cool.
Yeah.
The balance and the edge, and he's making a motion as if he's still swinging it.
That was the work of a master.
Do we have anything to trade or something?
I mean...
Well...
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I've got...
We have a flaming scimitar, 2d6 slashing, plus 1d6 fire. We have pieces of the death scarab, which I kind of want to keep until I find out what that metal does. We have 2 mithril ingots that you have.
Oh, yeah.
I have an
Um,
enchanted crossbow.
Keep that one.
yeah, we should
Yeah,
probably keep
that's-
that. That's pretty
Okay.
cool.
But the scimitar.
Say so.
No one is gonna use that anyway, I think.
A
Yeah.
sword for a sword is pretty solid with like something to push it over the top.
Yeah, that'll
But-
at least get it closer to like a reasonable gold
Right.
price.
Yeah,
And
then-
throw in the ingots too, so you can make something with them. That's
yeah. We've got some of those. I think I picked up another 2 of those rubies, the uncut ones, when we were in the mansion.
Yeah, but those are going to the
Oh yeah, to
what's the name?
Weaver's Warden. Yeah,
Mirabella?
Mirabella.
yeah, we have to take them back as evidence.
The scary lady.
Yes. So that you could put a jewel in something and make it look pretty.
There, we
So
have
need
like
that.
we have a bag of assorted. We have several bags of assorted gems. So I mean,
Yeah, but isn't
Yeah.
wait, what is hers again? Wasn't the gems hers, and then perhaps the rubies are not?
the rubies was what he was trying to make a backhanded deal for. So bringing her the dude we tried to catch her safe, but he's been killed, and bringing her the gems as like monetary recompense is probably the solid.
yeah, because we have like his gems in the bag, but then we have other gems that we found back in the tomb of the zealot. So
That's
Oh,
true.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we
Also,
found a
dude-
bunch of just gemstones.
Also, a dude came by while we were waiting outside the smelly place, and he told us that he had something that that halfling traded to him. So
Yeah, that's true. So we probably have more evidence.
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess yeah. So weapon for weapon, and then see where we stand. Throw gems for embellishing something, mithril for making something else that would impress his dad were he still here.
I'm fine with that.
Is that cool with everybody?
That's fine with me. And we can see if he has any adamantine, but I doubt it.
Thorkiel, that's fine with you?
Well, yeah, the adamantine might all be in this axe. I'd guess. But yeah,
Okay.
so I think that's the plan then. So yeah, the flaming scimitar, and then negotiate.
All right. Well, he doesn't have black powder, so I am not interested. Thanks,
You actually-
Torkel. That was
Thank you, Thorkiel.
You actually
very useful
didn't
information.
ask about black powder, just as a note. So.
I am not
Yeah,
worried
so what
about
was
it.
Okay. All right. Oh my god. Okay. Anyways. All right. So you guys can head back in. He stops hammering as soon as he sees you come back in. Make a decision.
Yes, like off again in the same way he did, like safely, like offer him the sword so that he can try its weight and see what it does.
He picks it up, takes it from you, I should say. It flares to life, and he's like, huh, "Well, that's fun."
Yeah.
More fire. All right. He gives it a couple of swings, points it back down. Flame goes out. All right. That's a
It's
good
less fun
start.
when they swing it at you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
and,
imagine.
like plunk the 2 mithril ingots down side by side. Like, perhaps you have a gift for strange metals.
Yeah, I mean, mithril was something that I've worked in before. Wouldn't mind giving it a try again. Especially if it's something that I didn't exactly pay for. Alright.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, it's straight from Syngorn.
Yeah. Elves.
Yeah.
Don't feel one
They
way
have-
or another about them, to be honest.
Well, they hold a certain reverence for this stuff.
Never understood that, but it's an interesting metal. I mean, again, he starts talking about, like, different temperatures, and Ulrin you can follow, but Neuraxis, it's like, yeah, okay.
We start nerding out about
Yeah.
all of the different, like, oh my gosh, yeah, I know. And like the transition temperature, oh yeah, it was crazy. But the tensile strength, I mean, I just can't believe it. And the modulus of elasticity, oh man, it's just amazing.
Sheer stress and
No,
strain.
it's really bad that I know a lot of this.
Yeah, and then it's some persuasion negotiation with gems from the Tomb of the Zealot and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
I look forward to being proficient in this one day.
A roll. Okay.
21.
Yeah, that's. He gives you an appraising look, looks at all of you, considering what you did, and he looks at you, Alrin. I know you released those souls. Yeah, I know that. I mean, it just makes sense. Cleric would be the one responsible for that. He wraps the battle axe back up and hands it out to you, Neuraxis, and he says, "Use it well. Varhash." And it's a half orc like battle cry type of thing.
So yeah, Neuraxis like pound his fist into his chest and give the like draconic equivalent.
Fight well, my brother.
Until the last breath.
And he takes his earnings and goes back to the forge. Gives you all a wave.
Master Smith, one. Do you have a short sword? Something functional, nothing flash. I know someone who could use it.
He nods at the wall where all the weapons are hanging. Yeah, just any of those up there, just pull one down.
Okay.
Yeah, more than enough. There's several that are more than functional. Very, very nicely honed edges. Good weighted pommels. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll like trust Ulrin's advice when I pick. And then how much would that be?
Yeah, just take it. I got more than enough.
Yeah,
no need. I'm assuming you're
kind.
giving it to somebody in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take it. We could use with a few better weapons. They don't listen to me on that end, so maybe if you give it to them. Who knows?
I don't know. People have this strange habit of giving me weapons back and like taps the huge like Bowie knife dagger on his hip. That he tried to give to Leora. He's like, I don't know why.
Maybe it's just how you look. I know how that feels.
I never considered that.
Yeah, maybe.
What's wrong with how Neuraxis looks?
Oh, he's green like me. I don't have a problem with it.
I think his green scales look very nice.
Thank you.
Oh, he's blushing. Oh.
Like, duck out the door to the smithy. Like, can he blush? He's got scale.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe.
That's like I kind of put that on the equivalent of saying like, can a Turian blush? You know what I mean? Like with the plates and stuff. So maybe I don't know.
Yeah, good. Might do.
All right.
As we leave,
Mm-hmm.
I'll approach the son of the blacksmith, and I'll give him one of the symbols, one of the all hammer like symbols that I have, a little coin thing with my mark on it. And I'll tell him if he ever needs like any materials or anything, and if he does any trading with crag hammers, show them my mark. And any deal with the bronze script, they should give you a reasonable discount. Just tell them that you know me and that I send my regards.
You know, my dad has some contacts there from working with the dwarves and fighting with them and everything. I talked about going there at one point before he died. Maybe this is the way in, huh? He looks it over real thoughtfully. Yeah, all right. Much appreciated. The forge is yours whenever you're in town. You're welcome to use it.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, least I could do.
If there's ever any techniques or anything you want to learn, or if you have any interests, just let me know. I would be glad to teach you.
He looks a little offended at that. Like,
I mean, just like just like if you need help, like I'm here, like brosmith, we brosmiths. It's good. I got you.
Right. I mean,
Like you're good. Like
Sure.
Like-
I'm sure that's how you meant it. Right. Okay. So, yeah, and he goes back to hammering.
All right. And I'm gonna leave because my charisma is very low and I'm bad at talking.
Amazing. All right, so you guys step out. It is fully night at this point. You do notice all of the snow is gone. The wind, there's a little bit of wind, but it's a bit warmer than when you came into town. And you see there are people out freely walking around, talking. The tavern just off to the side of this kind of circle where everything is glowing, lights blazing. You see Vidania's house is all lit up. You do see some torches over by the Delacrane mansion.
Think they're going to burn the house down now?
Maybe.
Oh.
There is a very old gentleman who walks by you, and this is a elderly dwarven man. Ulrin and Torkel especially. I mean, this guy is probably in his late 500s. Like he's up there at the end of it. And he is wearing these tattered robes, and he shuffles by all of you, and he stops and he says, I apologize if I'm forward in this, but if you want to watch the destruction of that place, you're welcome to join us.
Sure. What do you guys think?
Wait, you're gonna tear it down?
I'm going to bless the land. Vidania has convinced me that that would be useful. And then we are going to put it under a controlled blaze. Fire cleanses.
I mean,
I believe it to be important that we take care of this issue so that the villagers can go back to their calm minds.
I feel like that's already been handled. Burning it down now is waste.
What else would we do with it?
Have someone live in it. Keep it for the poor. Use it to store the extra grain in the winters. What other function?
I'm
You'd
afraid
rather waste simple stone?
we can always rebuild. That is not a question. It's an issue of what happened in that house and making sure that everything is settled.
I don't think anyone would want to use it again after what happened.
I agree with you. My halfling friend. Yes, absolutely. It needs to be taken care of. It was never properly done, and I failed in that. I should have responded when Alton Delacrane asked for my assistance, and I did not, and I feel some responsibility towards this.
Perhaps it's just a product of my culture building at this point to me.
No, I understand that. That's a natural instinct. It makes sense. We've already had discussions about what we will do with the land once it's cleared of the rubble. We don't have a proper... Ulrin, you do see he's now pulling out this symbol. You recognize it. It's the symbol of Pelor. Actually, all of you recognize it since Pelor has such a heavy influence in Exandria. There's been some discussion of building a proper temple here. We haven't had one, really, ever. We could do with a little bit of hope, I think. He's rubbing it between his fingers. But I digress. I'm off. You're welcome to join us if you would like. If not, be safe on your travels and wary the road. Pelor's blessing. And he starts to walk off.
Should we watch?
I mean, I think they should use a guard post before a temple. I'm no priest.
I think burning is the right idea.
I think it'd be useful to see how he cleanses the land.
Also, maybe we should be there just in case that something might come out of it that we haven't overlooked.
That's true, yeah.
Should we just go watch the cleansing and then head to the general goods store?
Yeah,
Sounds
I agree
good to
with
me.
that.
Okay. So you guys gonna head down. You kind of follow him. He walks slowly, like you might expect a rather elderly dwarven man would. And, sorry, I am trying to flip to something here real fast so that I can check something. And as you near the house, you do see Vidania and Samuel, Vera, a couple of other people. You do see Lucilla from the herbalist shop. You see Resh. Resh is actually coming up behind you. It seems like major players in the town have been asked to attend. Everyone is bearing torches, and in front of the house, almost right at the door, is a large pile of brush and wood, and it looks like that's how they're planning on starting this fire. You figured that this is probably Pa, who oversees the graveyard that Vidania had mentioned to you earlier. And as he approaches, he speaks with Vidania for a minute, and then he turns to face everyone and starts to chant something that it sounds, especially like to Ulrin, rather familiar. You do hear a chant of Pelor coming from him. He begins to shed his robes, and underneath those, and they were pretty ragged and dirty, you see just the most stunning armor, and all emblazoned with Pelor's, with the Dawnfather symbol, which is the sun with a face on it surrounded by a colored circle of glass. And it's gorgeous. And he begins this chant, and everyone starts to kind of chime in with him. And when it ends, he takes a torch from Vidania, and he turns to the house, and he says, "Pelor, we implore you. Allow us back this land. Allow us back what once was good and right, and let us use it to hopefully spread your message in this town." And he lights the fire, and the house begins to catch. You see other villagers come up with different containers of water and sand, just in case it gets out of control. And no one is talking while the house begins to catch fire. Do you guys want to stand and watch as it burns, or?
I'll watch for a little while.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I'll try and find Agatha, since a lot of people are gathered to give her the new short sword.
Okay. You look around for a minute. She is actually off to the side. She has looks like a barrel of sand at the waiting, just in case something goes bad. So she is kind of off, almost in the shadows a little bit, but you do catch her.
Yeah, I can see in the dark. It's fine.
Okay.
Like there's an attempt at subtlety, and then I realise hopefully everyone is looking at the flaming house, just straight over there.
Okay. She sees you and gives a little wave. I figured you guys took off by now.
We've got a last thing to wrap up in town. I just wanted to make sure that nothing else, out of there. We had enough trouble without leaving it to you.
That's kind of you. Yeah, hopefully this is it. I mean, something comes crawling out of that house at this point, it's gonna have to deal with all of us. So.
Well, in that vein, he reaches down and pulls free the scabbard and the blades. Johan might not be cut out for this, but if you're going to keep standing on that wall, you could do with something a little more professional. He just offers it towards the handle first.
That. She points at herself. Wait, for me?
Somehow I don't think I'm going to need.
No, I guess you wouldn't, would you, big guy? And she kind of slaps you on the shoulder.
And I haven't done the ritual yet, so I can't disappear the axe. So it's very obviously on his back. This
yeah,
massive.
This really gorgeous two-handed battle axe. Yeah, she takes it from you. Got this from Resh, didn't you?
Yeah.
I've been bugging that son of a bitch for weeks to give me training. Maybe he has to now because this is his sword. She kind of takes a couple of experimental hacks in the air away from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's look at the shape. This is more for stabbing. Starts little bits and pieces at least to stop her, cutting herself.
I gotta cut myself, you fool. I know what I'm doing. She very heftily puts it in a sheath at her side. She's like, I know what I'm doing. Well, maybe not, completely, but I can defend myself. Or someone else, if need be.
Good. Remember that. And he's there's a curt nod, and then he just starts to walk away. I don't know how to deal with this. You're welcome. Goodbye.
Thanks. Hey, wait. Come back. Okay. So you just walk away?
I think when she shouts, stops and turns. Yes.
I'm not gonna yell. Come here.
Okay. Starts lumbering back.
Most awkward conversation ever. Well, no, that was earlier in the tavern, but
yeah,
a little bit. She says, so just do me a favor. I don't know where you guys are headed back to. I don't know what you're doing, but I've had half a mind to take up some guard work. Actually, not here. My brother is a member of the Pale Guard up in Whitestone.
Oh.
And I've thought about heading up that way. So if you're ever there, stop by. I'm hoping that I can pass the training, and this. And she passed the sword. This'll help. I appreciate it.
We probably will someday. Torkel, and he makes a beard motion and realizes that. Yeah, it's the one without a hammer. That one.
The bald one. Yeah. Okay.
He's from up that way. I'm sure we'll pass by at some point.
Oh, well then, yeah. All right. Just swing by and say hello. my brother knows his way around town pretty well, and he's been bugging me to come up and see him anyways, so I guess I'll just do it, right? She kind of shrugs, and her armor creaks. She's like, oh, I need to fix that. Anyways, the house now, she points, and you can turn around and see the house is fully caught fire at this point. She goes, well, back on fire duty. Hey, thanks. I'm sure a lot of people have told you that, but, you know, you guys, when we stopped you at the gate, you could have just turned tail. Lots of people have. It means a lot that just some strangers would come in and help, and, well, thanks.
I mean, have you seen us? We're not exactly most people.
No, but, I mean, after what's happened, it's hard not to get jaded trusting people, so thanks for proving me wrong.
Just before you go running off to Whitestone and your brother, at least enjoy the peace here for a little while. These people could use a strong arm. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't go, just, you know, think about it.
Oh, I got half a mind to make sure that I wrestle Resh into doing some guard duty with me. There's no way that big guy's getting out of that. Have you seen him?
Yeah, he...
I can convince him. She gets this, like, cunning look on her face. She's like, I can convince him. I have ways. Maybe I'll arm wrestle him for it. Think that'll work?
He, like, blinks twice, like, trying to work out whether she's joking. You could certainly try.
Try. I'll win. You don't know. She kind of puffs up and...
I will defer to your better judgment. He just, like, nods.
Probably a good idea. Hey, anyways, yeah. So, cool. Fire and, yeah. She's about as awkward as you are right now.
It's like, it's that moment of like, this is the point where conversations end. Like, I remember that much. Well, take care and don't die.
Hey, same to you.
Well, perhaps I'll see you in Whitestone. He, like, just sticks his hand out to shake a hand, but like, really, like, no idea whether he should or not.
She does that, like,
just waiting.
She goes to shake your hand and then does that, like, bro clasp thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm like 6 foot. Okay.
She's surprisingly strong.
Huh. And yeah, with that, I will turn and walk back towards the group, just like.
Okay. So the house is on fire right now. Pa is talking to Vidania at this point. What would you guys like to do?
I asked Norexus, did she accept your weapon this time?
What? Oh, the sword. Yes. No. She's deciding whether to go to Whitestone.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, good iron's worth more than its weight in gold on the road, so.
You should warn her of the Parchwood Timberlands. She'll have to cross those if she goes there.
Yeah, those are not good for us.
That's. Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, it'll probably be fine.
I should go give her some advice on how to cross it.
I'd rather you than me.
Okay, everything okay? You seem to be a bit sweaty, Noraxis.
Honestly, I'm more used to giving commands than talking to people. Leading men is one thing, but all this small talk, not small, and it's like not small like you, small like
It's okay. I have trouble with it too. I usually just say what I think, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Honestly, I'm much better with giving instructions.
Oh.
All
I
right.
just pat Hazel on the back and go give her the instructions.
Okay. And I go over to her and give her a few pointers of like what to look out for in the Parchwood Timberlands and that she should always stick to the path
Okay.
and stuff.
Watch out for wolves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she will gladly take that advice. She actually pulls out a little scrap of parchment and starts jotting it down. She's like, watch out for wolves. Stick to the path. Got it. My brother had said there are a couple of friends of his that bounce between Whitestone and someplace called Jaren Village. And if I stop there, I might catch them. And they do a trade route between those two places, and I might be able to like catch a ride with them for the last couple 100 miles, which would be good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Now best to go in a big group. It's
Yeah.
not good to go there alone.
Yeah, I don't fancy doing that either, but hey, I mean, gotta go at some point, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Sword's been handed off. Advice has been given. The house is fully on fire at this point. I mean, it's just a giant blaze. And you see some of the villagers putting sand in strategic places to make sure that it doesn't get out of control. Do you guys want to head to the general goods merchant?
Yeah, if this is like under control, I guess merchant
Seems
and
to
then horses.
be. Yeah. And everyone's keeping a very wary eye on, what's going on. It seems to be under control.
Yeah, let's head to the.
So just on the wander, he's like, I hope I have a house that nice one day.
That would
not
be nice.
not that
wouldn't
cursed though. Nah, like-
Minus the curse would be good. Okay. So Conrad's place is just up the road in that same rough circle as pretty much everything else in this town. Lights are blazing and door is partially cracked open. You hear somebody, it sounds like a human man singing. Kind of sounds like Conrad. Seems to be singing to himself as you approach. He's just singing some old, bar ditty.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi?
Oh, hey, yeah, come on in. Sorry about that. I do that sometimes when I'm thinking. So, yeah, come on in. It is a general goods store. There are some, looks like dry rations. There are lots of odds and ends, fabrics, different things like that. Yeah, come on in. And he, as you guys enter, sorry, he pulls up a couple of small boxes and then a pouch and sets them on the counter. So, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, because I realized that on top of all of the odd, shit in this town, some guy is just like, hey, stop by my store. I got some weird stuff for you to look at. Probably not the smartest way to go about inviting you, but I'm not the most subtle of creatures, so hey. Yeah, pull up a seat. And he actually kind of guides you guys over to a big table. It's like, I prefer to do my discussions sitting down. Plus, man, I got this arthritic knee, stupid thing. Anyways, come on, sit down with me.
Are there any chairs I will fit in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you might have to, squeeze your armor in just a little bit, but you'll be all right.
I curl the tail around like a cat. And sit
Yeah,
down.
there you go.
I'm gonna jump on the chair, dangle my legs in the air.
I'm probably gonna try and get up on a chair. I don't know how tall they are.
He says, I can if you want me to put some like get you a stool or something, would that be better?
Oh, no, I got it. And I just, like, pick her up by the back of her robes and just put her on the seat.
Thank you.
He laughs and goes, I like that. That's pretty good. I like you guys.
Hazel can jump. I can't.
Okay. So, that Alon fella, that I heard y'all were looking for, he had come in to do some trading. He wanted some pickaxes and canvas. I figured he was getting stuff to go mine in the Stormcrest Mountains up ways, and I told him that wasn't smart because there's like trolls and all kinds of weird stuff up in there. You don't go wandering in the mountains by yourself anyways. He just kind of brushed me off. But he didn't have a lot of gold on him, so he traded me this. And he opens the pouch and pulls out a palm-sized black sapphire.
Ooh.
He goes, now, I don't understand why he gave me that. This is way more than a couple of pickaxes and some canvas and other mining tools is going to run you. But he told me that no one would miss it. So I'm a little worried. That sounds like code to me for he didn't really own it anyways.
He didn't.
It's a reasonable guess.
Okay. See, I mean, people think that I'm not the brightest, but listen, I've been around the block a few times. Most traders will shoot you straight, and then every now and then you run across some shady, weaselly people. Those are the ones I actually prefer dealing with, because I typically can figure out what their game is. So, and he drops it back into the pouch and pushes it over to you guys. I don't want it. I don't want trouble. I don't want stolen goods in my shop. That's not how I deal.
Considering the things that were going on, Alicia, do you mind taking a look at that?
Yeah. I take it in Arcana check?
Yep, roll an Arcana check.
Oh my. I rolled a 15 and 15 plus 7.
Yeah.
Over 20.
Oh, yeah.
Something.
There's nothing magical about this. However, you do know that black sapphire is sometimes used in very difficult high-level spells. It's very valuable. Reasonable to guess, this probably belonged to Mirabella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the actual gem we were trying to find.
Or one of
I
them.
think this is one of the gems he took from her.
Well, see that.
Thank you. We will need this.
Yeah, you can take it. I don't want anything to do with that son of a bitch. He came in here and tried to actually weasel deals out of me. Listen, that's not how I hate people like that. But at the same time, like I said, dealing with them is always interesting. You always learn something. So take it. Here's the other thing that I thought was he didn't have this on him. I've had it for a while, but y'all seem to be a little more worldly than the rest of us, even though I've been around the block a few times. I actually found it, so I bought this stuff from, and he goes into this big story about how he bought stuff from an estate sale 10 years ago, somewhere in the southern region of Taldore. He couldn't even remember because the goods had been carted to Amon and to different cities. And even some of them even found their way to Stilben. He goes, not the nicest place you want to go. Trust me on that one. Or Kymel. Either one. Just don't do it. And he says, so I thought maybe you guys might know what was up with this. It's just, it doesn't do anything, but it's just weird. And he opens this little jewelry box, and pulls out on a long copper chain. It's an amulet, and it looks to be copper and some kind of rose-colored orb in the middle of it, about quarter-sized, so large ball-bearing sized, but it's cracked. This orb is kind of cracked, and it's very pretty. And the copper chain looks to be corroded a little bit. It's got that green kind of going on the edges that copper gets sometimes. And he says, so I don't know what it is, and it's been here for ages. It just came with it, because the estate mostly had cool portraits and things that I could sell when the Delacranes wanted that kind of thing. But, no one knows what it is, and quite honestly, I'd be glad to just get it out of here, because I don't know what it is. And he hands it out to you guys, kind of on 2 fingers, the chain dangling off.
I give like the same look to Alicia, like,
Yeah,
this isn't
I'm
gonna
kinda-
like follow you or whatever. This isn't like crawly flesh. Let's just
Sure. Yeah, roll another Arcana check.
I don't want to do that.
healthy paranoia about this town.
20?
Okay.
Not natural?
Not natural, but 20 still. Yeah.
Right.
It has no magical essence coming off of it. And you don't even recognize that rose-colored stone or orb that's in the middle, that's dangling in between this disc of copper. It looks like nothing you've ever seen before. He goes, now for all I know, it's just some jeweler's idea of what was pretty, 10 years ago, or what was in fashion. I certainly don't follow that shit, but you're welcome to keep it. I just figured if it had any kind of weird magic or any kind of, what do they call that? Latent energy. And he makes like a hand motion, like latent energy, that maybe it might be interesting to y'all, but I mean, you're welcome to take it. I don't want anything for it.
Are you sure
Okay.
you don't?
I don't know what the hell it is.
Can I roll a history check on it? Or
You most definitely can.
because here's the question. I have artificer's lore because I'm a rock gnome.
Mm-hmm.
That means whenever I make an intelligence check or history related to magic items, alchemical objects, or technological devices, I can add twice my proficiency bonus.
Oh, shit.
Does this
Yeah.
count?
Yeah,
Okay,
go,
so I'm
go
just
right
gonna-
ahead.
Roll history and then add 3.
Okay.
So 27.
24.
27 because I have to add 3.
Oh,
add
jeez.
Oh, double
Okay,
proficiency.
holy shit. Oh, my
Christ.
God.
I
yeah,
read.
that's
I know
amazing.
fashion from whatever
From
it was
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
This is not a fashion item. Definitely not anything you've seen in that regard. It's very plain. There's no carving on it. So to you and to Ulrin, who's I'm sure looking at this thing, it has no religious use. Like, is it something a cleric would wear or that kind of thing? It's oddly devoid of detail.
Okay, well, we know it's not going to explode with magic, and we know it's not.
Oh.
I
Put
guess.
it in a bag for
Yeah.
later use, I think.
Probably.
We found out what it is.
Ulrin,
Yeah.
what do you think?
I mean, I can identify it, but it'll take a little while.
I also could identify it, but yeah. I don't have it at the moment.
Maybe that's a problem for the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I'll put random necklace thing. Fashionable necklace.
Cracked orb
No.
thingy, yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many very
I know.
nondescriptive items in
I
my
had,
bag.
I had
This bag of
had,
holding.
if it helps, I had in my notes cracked amulet of copper and rose.
Yeah, Ulrin, how many weirdly named things are in the.
A lot.
Like, not put. What was. I remember those.
Leather skin scrap weird thing.
Yeah.
Reliquary with fingertip and all hammer stamp.
Okay.
Oh.
Fancy bottle of magic from the house that had
Yes.
souls in it.
That's now just a fancy bottle.
Yeah, now it's just a fancy bottle.
Actually, speaking of the whole soul thing, Alicia, did you tell Tirax about the fate touched ritual?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Well,
Note that for the future.
I didn't in game, but
Right.
we could say I told him,
Right.
but
And remember, he knows he's fate touched.
Oh, cool. Now we just need to flay him.
Whoa.
That got dark real
Whoa.
fast. Holy crap.
This is where every character reveals that they're actually evil.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and all of your alignments
Damn.
changed. Got it. Oh boy.
Oh,
Okay. Conrad kind of sits back in his chair. He goes, "So, I mean, that's kind of all I had, but I just thought, it might be interesting or useful or both.
Yeah.
I mean, you're welcome to browse. I got ammo if you need, bolts or arrows or anything like that. I got canvas and I got some like jerky." And he starts pointing different things at. And you basically, if you needed the odd lots of, general goods, that's what he has. It's just varied stuff everywhere. The kinds of things that you would expect in a village like this.
Does he have anything sweet?
Oh yeah, I mean we actually, so Oda, the herbalist, used to make this honey candy, and I still have about a half a barrel of it. So she drops honey hot onto a pan, and then she would put like maybe a piece of peach in there, or like a different like apple or strawberry or something, and then it would solidify like a caramel. And then she'd wrap it up in a little piece of wax parchment, and then it's kind of like taffy. It's real chewy, but it's real good.
How much does one cost?
I don't buy the piece. Well, shoot, sweetheart, you can have a piece. And he points over to Bear. I got more than enough of that, but if you want like a bag of it, I'll sell you a bag.
How much is a bag?
It's just a gold piece.
Oh, damn, I don't have a gold piece. I only have 2 silver pieces and 6 copper. I'll take one.
They're actually just like reach over her head and put a single table.
You really have to stop paying for me.
It's a gold piece.
Yeah, just.
We have plenty of those in the bag.
Together.
I wasn't even taking it out of party fun.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying we have plenty of those in the bag.
Maybe this will keep you quiet on the road. Let's just.
Do I talk too
No.
much?
No, it's not that.
No.
Huh? Oh. We should all share it together.
Sure, let's do that.
Yeah, there's about 40 pieces in a bag of this candy. There's plenty to go around. Because it's real good. It's real good on the road too. Like if you get dry mouth or something, you just kind of suck on that for a little bit. Because you don't want to go biting into it, otherwise your teeth are going to stick together, and then all you're going to do is be able to go rah, 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 So anyways, here you go.
Yeah, I take the bag and I go to everyone and ask them what flavor they want, and then I hand it to them.
I'll take a slice of apple. Why not?
Here you go.
I'll take a peach.
Yeah.
Does that look like?
What about you, Ulrin and Torkel?
I guess I'll have orange if there is one.
No, there's no orange. Sorry about that.
Damn
I'm
it.
sorry.
I don't know what kinds are there.
No, there's like a strawberry. I think there's a mulberry. I think there's a cherry in there somewhere.
I'll have mulberry. That sounds good.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
That's pretty good. I like that. I'm pretty partial to the cherry one myself, but some people say it tastes like cough medicine. I get that. So, anyways, yeah, it's chewy. It's real chewy, but it's really good.
Which one do you want, Torkel?
Do the voice. All
right. I guess I will take the cherry one.
Okay.
Yeah, cough syrup, my man. Do it.
Oh, this is awful. Oh, instantly.
And I'll take the strawberry one.
No.
We knew that was
Right.
coming.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I can do for y'all? I mean, you good on like? He sees your crossbow, Hazel. You good on like bolts and stuff? You good?
Oh, that's me. Sorry, I was distracted. I'm good on crossbow bolts. Ulrin made me some.
Oh, all right. Hey, that's pretty cool. You got a cleric that can make things. I like it. That's handy. That is handy indeed. Well, anyways, so yeah, I hope y'all stay safe on the road.
You too. I mean, if you're worried about it, Resh seems to have quite a selection of implements. Self-safe.
Yeah, I bought a few daggers off of him a while back. Cut rope and that kind of thing helps when you take the horses out. Yeah, I'm about to go do some trading. oh, heck, where am I headed off to? And he starts pulling out maps and, like, muttering to himself, I don't remember where I'm supposed to be going. Let's see. No, Iman was, like, a couple months ago, so if I go here... And he's totally forgotten you guys are there at this point.
Yeah, it's just quietly, like, backpedaling out of the door. Just... Even though every step clanks in the armor, but still.
He's just as the last person leaves, is like, okay, bye. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Hey, you have a good time on the road.
Thank you, mister.
Go, and you're welcome. Enjoy that candy. Have a good one.
Oh,
bye.
I will.
Now, damn, where was I supposed to be? Oh, that's right. I was supposed to go to Turf's Fields. God damn it. All right. Door closes behind her.
Character.
The absent-minded traitor is a good one. Oh, dear. All right, so your horses are ready when you guys are.
Yeah, start heading
Okay.
back to Syngorn.
Yeah, I help you two onto a horse and then I'm up.
Okay. So the stable boy more than happy to give your horses over. They have been well taken care of. They seem quite happy and a little angry that they have to go back out in the weather. It's still chilly. It's not as cold as when you arrived, but they're a little reluctant at first. But you guys can take them out and head out of Tomor Falls. So we actually are going to stop there. Now that you guys have left the town, is there anything, just as a last note, while you're saddling up that you want to do before you head out?
I am more than satisfied.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd just be like if Gather and Yoha are on the gate or whatever, just like asking them if anyone's come in on the road, if there's like anything we should look out for, as some, as a trader coming in and like, hey, it's muddy here. There's been rock slide. Whatever.
Agatha is actually up on the gate with her new sword in hand. She does have her hand crossbow as well, and she looks out. She goes, "No, you guys are the last people to come into town. Actually, I do know that. Which way did you guys come in?" And you guys can tell her the path that you took. You basically took the straight road down.
Yeah.
She goes, if you're headed back to Syngorn, what I would recommend is, so when you get to, there's going to be a bend about 5 miles up the road, and it won't look like a road at first because it's kind of been washed out over the years, but it will turn into one. It's kind of a shortcut, and it'll cut you around the worst of the forest, and it should shave maybe an hour or so off your trip, and it also runs by a river if you need water or you want to stop the horses. That's a good place to go.
But yeah, that's about the only thing getting travel advice.
She goes, that's really, past that, it's a pretty straight shot back to Syngorn. You'll get there about daybreak if you set out now, maybe a little past sunrise, which is good because you do not want to approach those gates in the middle of the night if you don't have an elf with you. So, yeah, probably a good thing.
Thank you very much for the advice, lady.
Oh dear.
You're welcome.
I might have eaten all of the things that were left in the bag already.
Oh God.
Oh, no.
good Lord.
Come on, Alicia, get on. Let's ride. Whee!
Oh, oh, no.
Oh no.
And
Should have put those in the bag of holding.
the sugar
Yeah.
goblin returns.
You should not have left them with Hazel. That was a bad idea.
They'll learn eventually. They will learn.
Better prepare for a bumpy ride, Alicia.
Oh, no.
Oh.
All right, and we will stop the game with the return of the sugar goblin as you guys set back on the road to Syngorn. Your
so
quarry,
excited.
your quarry in hand or in bag, right? In bag of holding,
Yeah.
in bag. All right.